So Europe's economic revival is one of the main reasons why the global economy is powering ahead today. And both Macron and Merkel are sure to be trumpeting how Europe has turned the corner after all these years of crisis. What are your thoughts on that? Are we heading into a sort of Europe-America first showdown there in Davos?
Well, I certainly think Macron is well-positioned to have a great outing today, really well-positioned for a big French seduction. The buzz coming out of his meetings in Versailles are very positive around here. And yes, in answer to your question, there's a very nice story now around European growth and, of course, in France, finally some reforms for him to build on.
Now, President Macron has been pushing very hard for this renaissance in both French and world businesses, and his vision for France is all about innovation. Now, that's not something that people might necessarily associate with France. Is his message a credible one?
He's doing a great job turning that around. Again, France has deep engineering talent, and if you look at where a lot of the innovation is happening today around machine learning, algorithms, big data, France actually has the raw materials to power ahead there if they can build more of an entrepreneurial ecosystem around it and on top of that.
Would you say that there's been a Macron effect on businesses and startups so far?
Absolutely. Again, France was coming from a very low point, both in terms of policy, but also just in terms of perception. I had many people I knew working in France at big, say U.S. multinationals. And even if they had interesting investment cases, they felt like if they sent it back to the U.S., those emails wouldn't get opened. And for sure, Macron has shifted the perceptions. And there's a much more openness and interest into what's happening in France today.
Now, Peter, our viewers might not know this, but the world's biggest startup campus is actually based in Paris. It's called Station F. And INSEAD, your school, has just launched a partnership with Station F. What are you hoping INSEAD will bring to that?
I'd say it's great. I mean, it's first of all, it's just fabulous to see something like that where even when I bring like top American entrepreneurs from our network to Station F and they're impressed. I mean, you just don't see an ecosystem built with that sort of ambition and size. And so that's great for French branding, and it's going to be great on the ground. The reason we went were twofold. One is really to take, our alumni founders, of which we have many, and give them access to a great resource that just happens to be located in Paris. And the second part is, we also want to be part of encouraging the development in Paris as what we see as potentially a leading global center of entrepreneurship.
Just to wrap up, INSEAD alumni have already taken many well-known French startups global. What would be your greatest hit, so to speak?
Yeah. An early one would have been Vistaprint that started out in the mid-90s. But BlaBlaCar is, of course, well-known. Michel and Augustin, the cookies and stuff. We've got many there. Obviously, around Europe, you have things like TransferWise, CityMapper. So, yeah, just a lot of great companies. I think because our alumni are so diverse, they just think differently.
All right, Peter, just before you go, just some final words on Davos. So what are your hopes? What do you hope comes out of this World Economic Forum this year?
Yeah. Again, Davos is all about bringing different types of stakeholders together. I think there's a lot of big changes hitting society coming out of technology, and we really need to get governments, but also big tech companies thinking about their responsibilities and just how we can shape society going forward. I think France, which has a unique voice in that, has a real role to play in showing leadership and how we build a more social tech sector.
All right, Peter, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. That's Peter Zemsky, the Dean of Innovation at Graduate Business School, INSEAD. Thanks so much.